Don't give people a minute to get in. One of the OGs, we about to chop it up on some tribal conversation over here. And I'm gonna do is send out some invites while I'm waiting. And hopefully that'll get his attention. Just a little tribal talk, people. Just a little talking about what we're seeing on the land, how we, can see each other across distance, right? So let me see if the brother in here. Yes, sir. What's up, God?
Peace, brother, peace.
Tell the people what you want to be called and where you calling from.
I'm calling from the territorial Seattle, Washington. Brother
For
Abayomi,
sure.
Abayomi Bay.
Mm-hmm.
I'm at the little job site right now, man. But little jobs, kick back, little easy stuff. We come up in here and just show up and get the little
Yeah, look
develop.
like you're doing some construction.
Yeah, I work on these on the shipyard and shit. We repair these vessels, the Navy vessels and the Coast Guard vessels and the commercial boats and shit, the fisher boats.
Let me ask you this. Did they start opening docks back up for shipping containers, or are they still out there on the water?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure how that goes because that's them those longshoremen guys. You know, the longshoremen do that type of stuff. You know, that's them guys that's down like on the docks or whatever, like the real docks. This where I'm at is considered like a dry dock, if you will.
Oh, okay. So y'all for repairs only.
Yeah, we repairs. Like if you see this, the dry dock right here, like this gate go down and the water comes in, we let it down and the water come in, fill all the way up to the brown board, and that's how we let the ship in, and then it drains back out so we can go, back on the dry dock to do what we got to do or whatever. But,
For sure. We was chopping it up in Messenger.
Yeah.
And you was asking me about Tookie and a little bit about Raymond, and I was telling you about how it worked on the culture.
Right.
Yeah. So I just titled this video "Tribal Talk" because this is, the questions that you was answering is relevant because it helped us see how we see the Chiefs.
Right.
How can I see from Michigan the Chief all the way in Los Angeles?
Right. Yeah. See, and the reason why I was like asking because I'm always seeing like a lot of videos and people be talking about when they talk about the gang culture or whatnot. They like to say, oh, well, Raymond Washington was the founder of the Crips, or Tookie was the founder, and all that. But none of that stuff is true, like it's not true at all. So that's why I was wondering, like, well, how is it Tookie? Because like I was speaking to, my mom's uncle, who was his name was Michael Tobin, Fast Black. He used to be Miss Onassis, Jackie Onassis' private bodyguard back in the day. He was a part of the Long Table when Johnny Cochran was their attorney back then. When the Crips first founded, the Community Revolution in Progress, he was one of the original East Side boys.
Yep.
And he came up under Rosie Greer, because Rosie Greer is pretty much like an uncle. That's like we call him uncle or whatever. The Hall of Famer for the Rams. That's like family. He like took my uncle under his wing back in the day when he was a young boy and got him hired with working with that government stuff with the Kennedys back then. So
this is how we used to do it. You get a bunch of boys together. I'm going to pick a couple of them. She going to pick a couple. He going to pick a couple. I'm the chief. I'm saying these two going to win. Right. And there's different chiefs that got their picks. Right. The Priest Lodge is the Panther Lodge. You gotta remember that. That's important for the Community Revolution in Progress.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and the Red Lodge is the motherland, right? And Black and Gold is Big Mama house.
Right. I've heard you say that before.
So now this is flipping the colors, right? So the Crips colors is the blue. That's Blue Lodge. That's the Blue family. That's Big Papa house.
Mm-hmm.
All right now. So we got Mama house, the Red Lodge. We got Big Papa house, the Blue Lodge, and we got Big Mama house, the Black and Gold. Right?
Right.
But when you coming from different parts of the land, your colors can be variants. Right? Mm-hmm. So one of the girls might have been the favorite of Big Mama, and she might have been the favorite of Mama.
Mm-hmm.
So she won't use the yellow, and she won't, or the gold, and she won't use the red. She'll use orange.
Right.
That means she was picked by women on two sides of the family. You know, so this is how we seeing who the empresses versus the queens versus the priestesses versus the princesses.
Right.
Right. The colors that they fall under, if they all, like for instance, the sisters that fall under the red,
mm-hmm.
right, that's mama girls. And the sisters that fall under the blue, them daddy's girls.
Mm.
Right? And now they all got certain characteristics that make them stand out and tribe up. Now, Tukey and Raymond, not a clan yet. Right? So when community revolution and progress, when the Crips was formed, right, they coming out of the Black Panthers.
Yep.
The Black Panthers is paramilitary branch or top military branch is called Black Guerrilla Family. The Black Guerrilla Family is Big Papa House, Blue Lodge, coming off the Guerrilla Knock.
Mm.
Guerrilla knocking is when them boys stand there, go toe to toe, and establish motherfucker who get the most love, most respect off these hands getting thrown.
Mm.
And then we start tribing up. So your uncle might have been the founder from taking the structure from the Panthers. Right, and teaching it to Tukey and teaching it to Raymond Washington. But Tukey, the one, was throwing the hands. Raymond was throwing hands too, but him and Tukey, you know, they immediately like, man, this is my guy right here. When they met each other.
Yeah, he got a couple brothers too. They don't ever talk about Tukey's brothers neither. He got Berta Swan. I can't think of other two. They, you know, I'm a young buck compared to them guys. They like my mom and them age and all that. But
mm-hmm. Yeah. So now, in order for Tukey to get to the status of chief, he got to be the number one guy from the time he get locked up to now.
Right.
With them hands. Now, it might have been some dudes that came after him that had hands, but they probably didn't hold the same level of respect that Tukey commanded when he walked in the room. Right? So you can't overcome the most loved, most respected aspect.
Mm-hmm.
His clan is the biggest clan on the West Coast. Even though it's fractured into smaller clans, it's still, the Crips is still the biggest clan. And then the Bloods the second biggest clan.
Right.
Right? And then when we go to the third, we talking about like the Vatos, the Latin cliques. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So
like Latinos.
What'd you say?
You said the Latinos, as far as like the Mexicans.
Right. Now, When we go back and we look in the hieroglyphs in Mexico, we see them, but we also see us. We didn't have none of this shit over here. Racism, we had none of that over here before 1492.
Right.
Everything bitter, sour, and fucked up over here right now wasn't here before 1492. The way that we handle each other, we knew how to handle each other because we was family. And now you got some people that came that didn't give a fuck about our family ties, pretended to be family and stabbed us in the back.
Right. Like
then they tricked us with wordplay.
Mm-hmm.
When they tricked us with the wordplay, it was a done deal. That's what fucked us. But we still can read through their culture. We can see our culture through their culture. Because it ain't the same.
So a lot of this stuff is like still some of the same what's going on. Where I say the COINTELPRO stuff that's taking place as we speak. Like a lot of if you're not familiar with all the violence that's going on back at home on the streets of LA right now, like it's been like multiple.
No, that's organized, dog.
Yeah, that's what I've been saying. Yeah, it's organized. That's what I'm saying. I believe.
But it ain't organized by the ops this time. That's organized by us. Look at who they going. All of them smash and grabs. That shit organized.
Yeah.
Right. So you can't. If you don't read the culture, you won't never know. The OGs got that shit well orchestrated and under control. They hitting them in the pockets. That's all they trying to do. They ain't trying to hurt nobody. But if they hurt somebody that's trying to resist, oh well, we gotta hit them in the pockets. That's what they doing. The OGs hit them in the pockets. Everywhere, everything is about hitting them in the pockets. Go back and look at it again with this fresh lens in that everything is to hit the enemy in the pocket.
Well, that's, and then when you look at you said when they doing all them robberies down in them high end areas or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then you've been having a lot of shootings though. That's been like military style. Like, you know, it ain't been all my life been down there growing up in LA. I've never seen it to where like the way it is today. Like you'll have multiple shootings in one day, and these shootings are happening in broad daylight. Like, you know, they're not waiting until nighttime no more. And it's like they're doing it on at higher rates to where there's more manpower. It's not enough manpower for them to cover all the crime scenes, if you will. So it's almost like an orchestration, if you will. Remind me of that movie, Joy Road. I don't know if you ever seen the movie Joy Road with the brother from Above the Rim. He's playing an attorney in that movie, and there was a scene in that movie where the European man in the end, he came to the dudes, and there was like some regular like gang member type looking guys, like regular thug guys, and they were hired hands by the government, so they'll send them to different neighborhoods that they want to take out, and they'll go over to start trouble and, you know, go after the chief, set up shop, just do things that'll cause turmoil in the neighborhood. So they was telling the guy toward the end of the movie, he's like, yeah, we got the call from the president. He's like, where we going? He's like, we're going to Detroit. He's like, back to Detroit? He was like, yeah. He's like, all right. So, and that right there is just like, man, that's probably what they be doing today. Like, they got these hit teams because there's never no suspects. All these people get murdered.
They've been doing that. They've been doing that. Right? All you gotta do when you study in the story of BMF, Big Meech in Detroit.
Right.
They got a dude in Detroit, I can't remember his name right now. He was a notorious hitman in the street. This nigga can't stay in jail longer than a day or two.
Man.
He getting arrested for all these murders, but he ain't getting charged with nothing. Right? Because he was working for the government. He was a government hitman. They use assassins out of our community, or they send a motherfucker in that look like us because they can't come in our community and indiscriminately murder us. Because then we'll know who the enemy is. Right? So they got to make it look like one of us is doing it, so we'll keep fighting each other and never see the enemy. Remember after the riots in '91, the LA cops, that was dressing up like gangbangers to make the blood start back shooting at the crib.
Yeah, that was '92. Yeah, I can recall that very well. I was living in Compton at the time of those riots. I was living on Indigo. Yeah, I remember the first day. Yeah, that's just what happened. When the peace treaty came together, they went and stole one of the. They was taking cars and doing drive-bys and rival on other members who were like basically calling it the peace treaty just to cause friction or whatever. See, this is another thing that nobody's talking about, even with the LAPD and the sheriff department. It just came out. Like, I'm a reader. I like to read, so I like to read the stories or whatever. And I was just reading the story, something that I had been knowing what was going on, but they just pretty much confessed that the sheriff's department and the LAPD have current and former gang members that they go around killing people and they give out awards. This was just in an article from 3 weeks ago. They're called the Executioners and the Bandidos. Back in 2005. In Compton, I was in Compton, and I believe that's who hit us. We got these people came and fired like over 300 rounds at us, man. Killed my granddaddy, killed my stepdad, shot my little brother in the back, and killed my granddad's best friend. And these guys, like, it's almost like they reloaded and just kept shooting it the whole time. We right down the street from the Compton police station, and not one police turned on their sirens and came to the scene. So that right there just told me, like, man, the police was involved in this shit. When they took us to the police station, they locked us inside the damn precinct with handcuffs on the door. Like,
okay, so a couple things in relationship to what you said. Don't forget Rampart.
Right.
Now, in Chicago, they had some called the Jump Out Boys. Gang task force. Had 21 Jump Street that came after them, which was a bunch of police that looked like teenagers, but they was the police. They was on the force, and they was getting them from all over the country. And in Detroit, they had what they called the Crash Unit. Yeah, and they was targeting the Flynn's and the BKs in Detroit. Right? And then the Flynn's and the BKs got absorbed over time into other little factions, right? But they always kept gang task force, and anytime it wasn't gang violence, if the gang started, because, you know, we on the street, we know you can't go to war and make money at the same time. We all know this. There ain't nobody hustling on the streets that don't know you can't go to war and make money. So you have to make your money. And if you got to go to war, you got to put everything on hold till the war is over. Because you're going to lose in the midst of the war trying to fight the war and make the money. So you're either going to lose the war or you're going to lose the money. That's just basic street knowledge, 101. For anybody that's an OG should know that. All right, so if we know this, why in the fuck would we keep starting wars with people? Right? It doesn't make sense. Right? Now, every time we go to war with somebody, it be over something foolish. It doesn't make sense. Whatever we fighting over don't make sense. We fighting over a city block. Right? Why in the fuck is we fighting over a city block when it's all that territory out in the open country?
Yeah, senseless.
Right. So while you fighting over a city block, well, tell me how to fight for the world. I want the whole block. I want the whole globe. You know what I'm saying? How do I fight for that motherfucker? Fuck a city block. Now you're starting to change your perception from hood rat view, because a hood rat can't see over a motherfucker's shoe. Right? Now you start seeing from a bird's eye view the whole bigger picture. Right? So we already know there's something going on in our community because we're not handling conflicts very well right now. We agitate too easy. We blow up too bad. When we do blow up, we tear up too much shit. We out of control. We forced in power with no direction. Somebody is on the land interrupting something. We better find these motherfuckers.
Fast, huh?
Because the culture betrays them. We gonna always have our culture hardwired into who we is. So those with the feathers, even if we put on anything else, we gonna still be drawn to feather-related mentalities.
Mm-hmm.
In other words, you're gonna always be drawn back to what's ours, because the shit that ain't, it doesn't hold our interest the same.
Mm. Mm. And so when you were saying when we was talking in the messenger, and you were saying about the intermixture with those $5 people, it's crazy to me how the people that's running everything over there, that's just what they. It's like them people like European. They look like they European. It's like a lot of Paleos that run them tribes
Look,
down there.
those they're not even European. They're Mongolian, Han, and Hindu.
Mm.
They're a mixture, because that's who Rome was putting in servitude. They brought them over here with them. They had to do something with them motherfuckers. So they figured they'd pass them off as us to sign the treaties.
Mm.
So on the Trail of Tears, while the soldiers was returning from the Seminole Wars because the Spanish Armada retreated.
Right.
So now we going home. On our way home, they marching these motherfuckers right alongside us, right? While we going back to see our grandmama we ain't seen, some of us, our wife and children we ain't seen because we've been in bloodthirsty warfare. While we on our way home, they bring these, come on, bring them on through. Now they walking next to us. They telling us that these tribes is because they got customs similar to ours. Right? The TP is they shit. That's not our shit. Right. We made little tents, but our tents didn't look like their tents. They teepees that they show on TV, that's from the plainsmen of Asia. But the ones where you see where you will see that we built different type of structures. Log cabins is native over here.
Mm.
Right? When we took tents on hiking trips, the same as we would take a tent now. We had metropolises we lived in, or if we lived in the country, we lived in country towns. Everybody was fucking related in the country town. So you couldn't do nothing wrong to nobody because everybody know who it is that's doing the wrong.
That's the term it takes a village to raise a child, huh? Because everybody was pretty much tightly knitted. Yeah, so when I heard you speaking on that too, about like when you were saying the other people that was looking like us, that's when I made the comment the other day, because I was like, damn, that's deep, because that sound like how when you go into the Treaty of Peace and Friendship and you're reading it, how the Sultan was telling the other Moors, hey, when you see them European ships coming through with them, even if they got Africans on there, leave them alone. Let them go on and pass through. Because was that like basically because them was some of the people that looked like us but wasn't us?
The Sultan was one of them. Look, all that shit is fictitious. The backstory to the Treaty of Peace and Friendship, that was the first contract that the Scottish Rite Lodge of Freemasons with the Fezzes signed with the $5 Indians and passed it off as our contract. That shit didn't have nothing to do with us. That was the Crown of England signing a business arrangement with a corporation called Al Murak. Al Murak was a British Crown-owned corporation, right? And their role was to enforce admiralty law on the high seas.
Mm-hmm.
That's how we got under the jurisdiction of what they call Morocco.
Mm-hmm.
Because they was the enforcers of the Queen's judgment on the high seas. But we get mad if we haven't got to this part of the study yet, and we took some kind of side in the information, then we can't never see this part coming until it smashes us in the face like an old pie.
Right. Well, Drew Ali did say, I can't tell you everything because you fall back to sleep. The half ain't even told is what he said. The half ain't even told. So, you know, it makes a ton of sense. That's for damn sure.
Hey, when you read in the oral statements, he talk worse about Moors than he do about other settlers. He told me, none of you motherfucking Moors gonna make it. Except, how many of y'all gonna make it? I can count on one hand.
One hand, yeah. Yep.
Why did he say that? Listen to what he's saying. Why would he say that? Who is he trying to tell something? Who gonna get the message? Right?
Right.
Now, how you start a civics organization and it turned into a religious organization? You went from studying law to studying dogma. That's called usurpation. Somebody undermining something. But you won't never know what they undermining because you're so busy taking sides. You don't even know if you playing on the right side or the wrong side. You playing the game recklessly.
Yeah.
Without the rules. You're not playing the game with the rules. You're playing the game without the rules. So instead of trying to find a rule first so you can know how to play the game, you start taking sides with motherfuckers, hoping that they get the rules right.
Wait.
Yeah. So the culture tells who the chiefs is. The rule is the largest clans cover the greatest area. That's the basic rule. Now, Angel Bay and Larry Hoover is Mississippians. They both came from Mississippi, first generation to Chicago. I'm second generation, born in Chicago. My father, first generation migrant to Chicago, and my mother, and me and my siblings was born in Chicago, first generation Chicago born Mississippian. Then we end up moving to Detroit. We moved from Mecca to Medina. You see the story? And Jerusalem to us is the Far East. But we call it the Northeastern states. Or the New England states. Now, if you want to break down why they call them New England states, because the old England is in Europe. And if they come in to set up and establish a new world, everything over here got to be the new because that's the old. And Columbus was sent to sail to the new world, right? Right, so they coming to challenge us to take over the rest of the world because they done took over 2/3 at this point. It's 1/3 left, us. They are a family called Tudors out of Europe. In Spanish, they call conquistadors. But in English, they call it Etruscan. Their description is Moray. The description being Moray is not they classification in law. It's their description in law. You see the difference? So what else do the word Moray attach to? The word Moor. The word more is a catch term. A catch term meaning if you want to group a bunch of things together in the new language, you create a word that's similar to all of the words in their language, and then you put it as the word that they all mean. Now you done caught all of those words into one word.
Yeah, well, you talking about plugging it into the matrix, into the etymon?
This is the structure of the matrix. When you start seeing the structure of it play out in your head, it start unraveling the whole matrix in front of your face.
Mm-hmm.
So what we in what we call a computer age, right? But our ways are called ancient. That means they always been here the way we are. So however we are, it's going to be different than how we perceived. Right? Because they need to control the narrative of how to perceive yourself. If they can control the narrative, they can lead you wherever they want you to go.
That's true.
It's just like a dance. You know? The one who know the steps supposed to lead. You dig? The ones who don't know the step supposed to take the following position. But the problem now is a whole bunch of motherfuckers that don't know the steps to the dance want to lead. So all the ones that do know the steps are sitting on the sideline looking at the no dancing motherfuckers trip over each other's feet.
Clown show.
Yeah. I just told Uncle on the other channel, I say, we don't play with the clowns when we go to the circus. We sit back and watch them. They for entertainment purposes only. So when the clowns jump up and you know they ain't on your level, you can't go play with the clowns. Just watch the fucking circus.
Right.
Right? Fuck around and get some clown paint on your ass. Fucking with a clown.
Mm-hmm. For real.
We got so good. We didn't even infiltrated the clown club and got hyphy with it.
Hyphy. I saw they love clowning and dancing, huh? That's what we done turned into, a damn super
Listen.
I was just telling somebody, all they gotta do, we go to war, just turn some music on. These motherfuckers gonna start twerking.
Hey, look, the motherfuckers that be wearing that clown makeup out the bay.
Yeah.
They got a club in Detroit. They call them juggalos, right?
Mm-hmm.
Out there in the bay, they listen to the local music, right?
Mm-hmm.
The Juggalos is an insane clown posse local influence. The clown club. They creating the whole clown club by expressing their art. And now it pop up on two coasts that they stand up as mirrors to reflect off each other.
Hey, I heard you when you was talking about yesterday. Was that yesterday? Yeah, you was talking about the did you say the indigenous? You were saying something about the different act of the new contract. Can you elaborate on that? What you were speaking on the other day, as far as when you were saying we ain't under the they about the, because it made a lot of sense when you was talking about the you didn't say it wasn't the Declaration of Rights of Indigenous People, but you was speaking about something that they trying to move, basically doing in if you will, in their form of policies, if you will.
That's what it was, the Indigenous Rights Act, where they gave us back all of the power.
The drip, you talking about the drip that Obama signed?
I think I don't know who signed it. It's a No, Trump signed it, I believe it was 2017.
Now, Obama signed the DRIP back in 2009, too. He signed the Declaration of Rights of Indigenous People back then. Because I didn't use that document and then, went into these. I didn't have issues, and, because I stopped all that. First got into the information, got rid of the license and all that old stuff. And, I didn't have my battles with these people out here. And then I didn't took that into their little court, to their little administration buildings and got my cases thrown right on out of there. Just basically using this Article 1 and 15. And different things is showing, just proving with their own records that, the driver's license is a commercial document only, for commercial use only under subsection 33301. That's what it says. So if you're not doing any form of commerce, then you got the right to travel. So, a lot of people don't believe that, but I mean, that's just a fact. And it's all, like you say, it's legalese. It's all in the language. They try to pick you up with words. So if you don't use jurisdiction is right words. That's what juris is, words. Addiction is words, and juris is right. So
yeah, that's why they tell you about color of law. Like color of law.
Yeah. Color. Yeah. See, but that's the thing too. Like there's nobody to enforce that section. You got Title 18, subsection 242, 241. The color of law, like there's nobody to enforce that. Like nobody. Like,
right. Because the people that you complaining to, look, yeah, the people you complaining to about somebody acting as a de facto color of law agent is a de facto color of law agent. That's why we got to go back to our own ways. Right? So we can't use their system to kick them off the land. But we can use Big Mama's system, her Jubilee system, right? Where she sent one of the chiefs to go confront the threat face to face, head on. In this case, it's an intellectual battle for the man. So she sent me. Right? Look, the thing is, even if I say something that's not correct, fundamentally, it's always a receipt to something else I said. Right? But you sometimes got to flip that shit.
Right.
Because that's where they scrambled the matrix at. When they scrambled the words. BDP6, BDP6, all the same. BDP6, 9. They are the same. They are the same. Just variations, different angles, depending on how you look at it, and it's going to determine what you see. BDP 69. That's 3 letters, 2 numbers. That's 32. That's a Magic Johnson flip.
32, that's 5. 3 and 2 is 5.
Yep, on the turnaround, the 23 is Michael Jordan in Chicago. Right? So that's a connection. But where you say you at, Portland?
Now I'm in Seattle, but I'm from LA though. I'm from Los Angeles originally, but I've been living up.
Right.
Domiciling in the Seattle territory.
So that's an LA flip. Look, we ain't talking now. Code flipping. Right? Because when you establish your LA connection, but you currently in where?
Seattle.
Seattle, Washington. Right? That's the furthest point on this side of the Canadian border of the United States without crossing over to go to Canada.
Absolutely.
I mean to Alaska.
Yeah, this is the last metropolitan city.
Yep. Now, that's a Rasheed Wallace flip. Right? On the I-10. I-10 is the known guy. That's his tattoo, and it's a tattoo flip. And Rasheed got traded from Portland
to Detroit.
Wait a minute. Portland is in Oregon. Right. So the Portland, that's Newport, West Virginia on the mirror flip. They broke the word in half. That's called a broken key. Okay, so we went from Newport, Virginia And now we got to go from Seattle, Washington, Seahawk. That's a Popeye flip. But Seahag, right? And Popeye is the right eye because the right eye controlled by the left brain. The left brain is the logical brain, right? And the linear logic is the mathematical formula, right? So Rasheed Wallace got traded to Detroit. Remember?
Mm-hmm.
And he was playing with Ben Wallace.
Yep.
Right? That's called a bobblehead flip. The bobblehead flip off Black Girl Magic because that's how she wanted to whip her hair back and forth. That's a Willow flip. Willow is a wrestling character, Jeff Hardy. But it's also the name of Will Smith's daughter.
And also the Little Wizard. There was a movie when I was a kid. Willow. Who's the memory? Willow, the Little Wizard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. So this one we be flipping the codes. Right. So Willow is daddy's girl, but she really a mama's girl. So that means she's a royal princess, blessed on two sides. And the royal princess flips out Black Girl Magic over here, and she flip out two sides. That means that she can see both sides of the family tree in order to not take sides in their bullshit. That means wherever she see the tribes at, she know how to behave in the midst of the tribes to not make the tribes want to give her the love and respect, to not act like an asshole. Right? So that takes me to Oxford. And Oxford is Ox Babe, the blue ox on the Axeman. And the Axeman is the X-Man. But the Axeman, or the man that carried the axe, was Paul Bunyan, which is a tall bunny on a hominem flip. And the tall bunny is a kangaroo from down under. That's a Hellboy flip. And Hellboy came back to destroy the dirt. So they had to get one that could get just as dirty as the motherfuckers that came here to do the dirt in order to get the dirt solved. That means that he can flip both sides of the coin. He's well balanced. And if he can flip both sides of the coin, that means that he can flip both sides of the family. That means he be a G sitting on top of the family tree. And G is the seventh letter made. And 7 is in the middle of the circle. But the circle is the sun. At least that's what the 5%ers say. But you can't have the sun without man, woman, and child. Peace to the God, Kalai. Man, woman, and child, one love.
Yeah, Kalai be breaking it down. He be busting. Sun blood energy. They be hating on that brother. I like the other little brother, the young brother too, Rashad Jamal too. He pretty deep too. He pretty deep.
Yeah.
I was just saying he got a nice little rap because I was tripping off how when I was growing up we had what you call the jukebox in L.A. back in Compton. All you could put in the number that you want to watch on the video, and even before then, in the 80s, like, it was a balance in between. You had the choice. Remember, you had Queen Latifah. She was a positive rapper. You had X-Clan. These videos would come on BET. So you had all this conscious music they was promoting that stuff, and then here come NWA. NWA was on the rise, and then it was almost like they used that to trick everybody and get rid of all the conscious, elevating music, and had everybody to just focus on what they got now. Like today, there's no genre. There's no new R&B singers. Who sing? Who's the new R&B singers? It's like all this shit is the same today. Like it's crazy.
Hey, look, it wouldn't be nothing wrong with it all being the same if it was all still good. But it's the same, and it's all the same amount of fucked up.
Yeah. we got some dope positive rappers out there too that be promoting that positive energy, like a sister Sarah, Sayla Nehru. It's a few of them queens out there that's dope. They dope on that mic, but they don't get no recognition like that as far as that go. I like the brother Donnie Arcade. He be busting. Donnie Arcade be speaking about the Anunnaki and all that other stuff. You know, those intellectuals.
I grew up on all that, man. We listen to the whole range, the full spectrum of rap.
Right.
And that's how we know when the mumble rappers is mumbling, that's because they can't say what they want to say. The industry trying to shut them, silence them. So they saying shit that you can't make out what they saying because they can't say what they want to say.
Shit, if I'd have known that it was gonna be like this, I'd have went to the studio when my uncle was trying to take me back in the day. I'm like, man, I can't rap. He like, man, come on and get on this damn. Come to the studio and say whatever. Cause my uncle one of the it's Coolio. I know you know who Coolio is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's my dude.
Yep. Coolio with the flow. Yeah, I could have been a rapper if I would have had just known it was gonna be like this to say anything. Come on here and just start mumbling. Oh, okay. And just sing a little bit. Yeah, I could do that.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Looking at them, seeing them comments. What they were saying in the comments.
Mm-hmm. I'm trying to see how long we've been on here.
Yeah, my night almost over. It's almost time for me to get off. Had another smooth day.
Mm-hmm. That's always good when nobody want to go to work to chaos.
Oh yeah, it's smooth around here, man. Especially on this swing shift, man. We just get enough done to get the job done, and then it's just smooth sailing from after there.
Mm-hmm. But that's word on the land.
So yeah, so back to the before we close out to clarify on the tribal thing. So with the the brothers Ford, Tookie, and Larry Hoover. So do you so I remember you were saying that you said that they froze Tookie. They didn't kill him.
They put him in cryostasis.
And that was my uncles and them tell me that back in the day they said Tookie and Arnold Schwarzenegger, they used to work out with them guys, right? My pops was one of them buff
he
dudes.
signed the order.
They used to all work out together. Nah, Tookie beat him in a weightlifting competition. So
yeah.
They said basically that was personal because Arnold could have saved him, man. Arnold could have saved the brother and could have let him with the streets.
Arnold the one signed for him to be frozen. He was supposed to do that because that's what Tookie asked him to do. Because he didn't want to compromise the position Arnold had gained. Arnold had to get the rub from Tookie in order to traverse the land in Cali. That's what that shit was all about. The weightlifting competition, the pose down, all that shit.
Yeah. Look at
because Arnold came to Big Tookie and asked him if he can get a seat at the table. Tookie told him to take his seat. Go take it, nigga.
The Swarty nigger, Arnold Swarty nigger.
Right. We call him a vanilla gorilla.
Yeah. Huh. Vanilla gorilla.
Yeah, they the ones that's Lord of Big Mama. So, hey, when she send her boys out, we can read each other. You understand what I'm saying? You know what a swarthy nigga is?
Swarthy is like dark, black.
Yeah. But he was a byproduct of the Hitler breeding program.
Yeah, he looked like a
That's
goddamn
why.
clone. Like he'd be a clone with his everybody
But he wasn't.
on.
Look, he wasn't a clone. He was a steroid baby.
Yeah.
During the growth cycle of the fetus, and I think the second trimester, when the limbs grow, they give them a certain hormone, right? And the hormones is designed to affect the physical development, right? This is why they study that body chart, ectomorph, endomorph, mesomorph, right? Because they know what the chemicals do for the babies. When they was doing, they was trying to manipulate the genes by using the steroids at certain times of gestation. They wasn't using the full technology because they hadn't reestablished it yet. Right? He ain't the only one. You remember Dolph Lundgren played Drago in Rocky? Right. So you tell most of them because they got like a African American type swag. That's come from them having the blood from us. Remember, they said it only take one drop of blood,
Right,
to influence the genetics. So you can tell that they're not the same because the physiology has been altered by the altering of the genetics by the one drop rule. Right? But in the meantime, because they using that to keep us from knowing, now we can learn how to use it to our advantage.
One question. So do you think that what do you think about the whole, because I see the hashtag free Larry Hoover, man. Like, I'm just concerned, like curious, like how come that didn't pick up more steam, being that it's 2022? Like, why is the brother still down like that, man? Like, it has
Because
to
the
be a
people
bigger
didn't know
reason.
how to read the culture. They didn't know how to read the culture to establish their real leadership from the imposters' puppets that they gave us to mislead us. So we wasn't fighting for him because we was all watching the puppet show, right? So it's like we watching the movie and it's a dude in there raping a chick, but don't nobody want to stop watching the movie long enough to beat his ass. I ain't see nothing. Turn the other cheek. And swear up and down, we ain't no turn the other cheek ass niggas.
Right.
Right? But we want to smoke, but only with each other. You know why? Because ain't nobody else competition to us but us. Right? So if we gonna nut up, we want competition. We want the equal and equivalent pushback. But that's also how you remain balanced. That's how you stay strong and balanced. Now, if you can control it and keep it from being reckless and destructive and producing death, you can use it to build, align, and restore the future. Right? Because you know how the energy works. This is why you got simulated combat like pro wrestling, but you also have actual combat release like UFC, where you can vicariously live through the fighter in the ring to control and release that energy. Right? So it's just like fucking. Once you get your fix, you good. You can lay there and go to sleep now. But we trying to tell you the shit something going wrong, stop watching that fake ass fight. Each one teach one when y'all gonna read some.
They wilding out in them comments.
I wonder she talking about. She said that nigga wear a shower curtain around his neck, always coming in to fuck up somebody live.
Who said that?
Yeah, I already told them. They already know because I already been telling them. I say, look, when they come, I'm gonna tell you exactly how to know it's them. A group of peaceful people congregate, minding their own goddamn business,
Mm-hmm.
and they come in trying to start shit. They feel like they should be the one getting the attention.
Yeah.
But like I said, when we're at the circus, we don't play with the clowns. We sit back and watch them, enjoy the show.
Mm-hmm. The clown shit gonna play out after a while.
Yeah, you know, he only got a couple of skits. And then they got to bring on the marching girl.
Mm-hmm.
So if we going to watch the circus, ain't no sense us trying to play with the clowns. We got other acts to follow.
That's who they talking about. They saying the ad. They want him to go. He want to go live with you.
Who is he?
I don't know. I was saying he was just saying a lot of bullshit. Like, you know, that's some of the shit. You know, you be seeing people be trolling, just always got something to say. They just want attention, man. A lot of people they ain't getting enough hugs when they was kids, and they got this Instagram to just say whatever they want to say. That's what people be doing.
The sister up on it right here. Watch this. I'm peeing this one. Trying to anyway. But they don't want to listen.
Oh, she said Larry already free.
But they don't want to listen. They don't want to listen. Then I told you the shocker. Wes Craven. That's a raven from the West. A message from the dead. Brandon Lee. Right? That's a crow knot. But it's really a raven. That's Longfellow.
Mm.
Quote the raven, nevermore. Right? Shakespeare, theater. A rave performance. Right? The Shocker, Stan Tookie Williams. Right? Many that you presume to be dead shall be raised to life. Remember?
Mm-hmm.
But he's talking about what the book say. I'm showing you what the book do. The book is not for you to have a religious dogma. It's to tell you a report so you can read the times using the star map and the clues in the book.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So almost time for me to get up off this boat. I take my butt ass home.
Yeah, I'm about to wrap it up. I'm trying to see who this is trying to get in here so I know who to let in. I don't see.
Don't that person that ain't talking about nothing, man. They just trying to get on and be a disruptor. Cause I ain't seen them say nothing of substance.
Oh, you know, I'm with the shits. I want to smoke.
For sure.
I sure want to smoke. I ain't got no problem with it. Oh, bad example. I don't know that dude, but I'm gonna let him in here. I'm gonna let you go and drop out, man. I'm gonna let this guy in and see what he got to talk about.
Peace and love. Nice talking to you.
Peace and love.
Go.
All right.